This is number 3. We could have gone to the federal courthouse out front and just spoke on what we're talking about today. But I think I'm gonna go see one of my friends. So I gotta do a little bit. And I'm going to justify that last video. When the media just connected the legal names of 15 people under federal indictment, the media also connected every AKA alias to those names. I'm assuming that the evidence, whatever evidence is on these particular cases, I'm assuming a lot of it because I reread the indictments. It was going back all the way to 1995. A few notes. If any of the evidence in any of these cases is using the AKA names, meaning some of them are for murder, some of these indictments, attempted murder, all types of lists. I'm assuming in some of these you will have witnesses that will say so-and-so would come up with any alias. Paco. It used to be a nickname I had. I don't know how I got that. Paco came and showed up and shot somebody or did this or distributed meth. Okay. So you're going to have witnesses that are going to be using some of these, quote, street names. And I'm assuming, in this county we do not know, but I'm assuming any defense lawyer worth his salt, when he has his defendant on the stand or defendant, he's defending him, I'm sure some are going to question whether or not it was speaking about the proper legal name of that defendant and the quote AKA. I'll tell you as a fact, over the years, more than one of my friends or people on the street have had the same name, because people would ask me over the years, did you ever meet this one? Did you ever meet that one? I'd say, well, I heard this one, you're just talking about this one. More than one of my people I've known from being on the streets for all these years have the same AKA. That's a fact. Anybody that watches this and that knows about it will tell you that. So, if you're trying to defend someone in a court and say, it wasn't, quote, this Paco or this AKA, the prosecution, and I looked at the 2 federal prosecutors, U.S. attorneys, they've been tried the case, that's public record. I saw both the names, so we'll just look legally at everything in this case. But how are you going to make a defense if, in actuality, you're associating an AKA alias with a particular crime, murder, or whatever it is, and then the media just told the whole jury pool in Oasis County, you associated the names with those aliases. That's why that's problematic. Second, you said there were a lot of federal, I'm talking to the indictment here, for murder, which of course takes place in society. Why were these murders that are contained in this indictment, we don't know the ones, the victims or any of that, if they've been going on for all these years, why were these murders not solved at those times? Meaning you knew somebody was killed, and I have spoken on this for years. I've talked about unreported homicides that you hear about. People show up missing and then word on the street is, man, somebody killed this one or that one. And I used to say, how come that's going on? So if there's a whole bunch of 20-year history of murder, I'm not an expert on gang and mafia and everything, but I'm familiar with it. I've read books on it. How could some of these murders have been going on, supposedly in this indictment, and yet those homicides for all these years were never solved, some possibly unreported? I have a question about that, a legitimate question as a citizen. So that's the problem with associating in this public meeting, you've associated all of these legal names of these defendants with these aliases. And more than one person goes by various AKAs, that's a fact. And how can a defense lawyer result you got the wrong Paco over there, because the media just basically stated as a fact that this name of whatever those 15 indictments goes by AKA this. No, that has to be proved in court. That has to be proved now in front of Judge Janice Ellington. So you just tainted the jury. Do you understand?